My husband slapped me while I'm pregnant in public in front of his friends, but he didn't know. I never thought the man I married, the man I once believed was my safe place, would ever become the person who humiliated me the most. It wasn't just the slap. It was the betrayal, the broken trust, and the cruel realization that the person you give your heart to can crush it without hesitation. But he didn't know I was stronger than he ever imagined. He didn't know I had already made a choice that would change everything. It happened on a Saturday afternoon. I was 7 months pregnant, glowing with both excitement and exhaustion, carrying the life we had created together. My husband, Daniel, had invited me to a casual gathering with his friends at a downtown cafe. He insisted I come along, even though I told him I was tired. "Don't embarrass me by staying home again," he snapped that morning. That should have been my first warning. At the cafe, his friends were loud, laughing, and full of their usual arrogance. Daniel thrived in their presence, cracking jokes, exaggerating his success at work, pretending to be the perfect husband. I sat beside him quietly, sipping water, my hand gently resting on my belly. Then it happened. I don't even remember what I said. Something small. I think I reminded him not to drink too much since he was driving. The next thing I knew, his palm collided with my cheek. The sound of it silenced the entire cafe. My head whipped to the side, my skin burning, my eyes instantly welling up with tears. Gasps echoed. Some of his friends froze. Others chuckled awkwardly, as if violence was just another joke in their circle. My hand instinctively went to my belly. My baby. That was all I cared about. Daniel sneered, leaning close enough for only me to hear. "Don't you ever talk back to me in front of them again." The world around me blurred. My tears weren't just from pain, but from humiliation. Strangers were staring. My heart pounded, my baby kicked inside me as if sensing the chaos. I wanted to scream, to fight, to leave, but I stayed still. Because Daniel didn't know something. He didn't know I had been documenting everything. For months, I had been living in silence, enduring his temper, his controlling words, his cruel behavior. At first, I made excuses. He was stressed, he didn't mean it, things would change once the baby came. But deep down, I knew this wasn't love. And I wasn't going to let my child grow up in this nightmare. Quietly, I had started recording his outbursts, saving text messages, and sharing my story with a trusted friend, Rachel, my childhood best friend who also happened to be a lawyer. She had begged me to leave, but I wasn't ready, until that slap in public. That was the moment everything inside me shifted. I didn't cry loudly. I didn't scream. Instead, I looked Daniel straight in the eyes, with a calmness that seemed to unsettle him more than my tears. I excused myself, walked out of that cafe, and got into a cab. My hands were shaking, but my mind was crystal clear. I wasn't going back. That night, while Daniel was out celebrating with his friends as if nothing had happened, I packed what I could. My friend Rachel met me with her car, and together we drove away. I filed a restraining order the next morning, presenting all the evidence I had collected. The slap wasn't just a moment of violence, it was proof of the danger I was living in. Days turned into weeks. The legal battle was messy. Daniel tried to paint me as unstable, hormonal, exaggerating because of pregnancy. But he didn't know the strength I had gathered, the support system I had built, and the truth I carried. Witnesses from the cafe came forward. Strangers who had seen him humiliate me in public were willing to testify. His own arrogance destroyed him. When our baby girl was born, I held her in my arms and promised her a life filled with love, safety, and dignity. Daniel wasn't there. By then, the divorce papers were signed, the restraining order permanent. He had lost custody rights due to the evidence of abuse. Looking back, I realized the slap was the last chain breaking. The final push I needed to reclaim my life. What Daniel never knew was that the moment he tried to strip me of my dignity in public was the exact moment I gained my freedom. Today, I raise my daughter surrounded by love. I smile again. I breathe again. And every time I think of that day, I don't feel shame anymore, I feel pride. Because I walked away, not just for me, but for her. My message to anyone listening is simple: love should never hurt. If someone raises their hand against you, they've already lost the right to hold your heart. You are stronger than you think. And sometimes, what looks like the end is really the beginning of a life you truly deserve.